Beloved Unity Community. So welcome, welcome. I want to just take a moment to say good morning to everyone online. So glad that you can meet us here in this space from your homes. We welcome you back through these doors when you're able. Let's just take a moment to turn to our neighbors and give a little gratitude, give a little love, and welcome one another here this morning. You just turn to your neighbors and make it a point that every single person gets a touch. Every single person. No one is left out. Everyone is welcome here. Dave, welcome and good morning. Loving you. To you, babe. Ah, that sounds so good. What a joy it is to connect with each other in a just a beautiful way this morning. I think it's a good habit to get into, to remember to share your gratitude, to always welcome, to give a little love. It's really what we are all about as a family here in this beautiful, beautiful space. Thank you once again, Soulshine. You guys are terrific and really appreciate you and all of it. And that I am the first person that William did all of the deal this morning. I just really feeling that's a great thing. Why me, dude? Then again, why not? I am that. Okay, so let's just begin by simply arriving here, actually with our beautiful, beautiful meditation and all. I'm going to be just slightly redundant, but I just want you to sink so deeply into arriving here at this beautiful space together. Please just take a breath in together, a deep breath, not just in your lungs, but literally feel into your body. Indeed. Allow yourself to be fully and completely here, now, in this present moment. Let the busyness of this morning soften. Let your mind settle. And just notice you are here. Today, I am not going to teach you something new, but I'm going to ask you to remember something ancient. Something true, something that actually has never really been lost. We're here to remember our abundant nature. Not abundance from something that we strive for something that we earn, or for something that we finally arrive to one day. But abundance as the natural state of being when we are aligned with ourselves, with one another, and with the divine presence moving through all life. Can you feel that? I ask you to feel that. Thank you. Abundance is not a reward for doing something correctly. Let's just make that clear. It's the natural of expression of life when we are in right relationship with it. Does that make sense? Okay, I still have you. Awesome. Okay. So often we're taught to think that abundance, we think of it in the terms of money, right? I mean, oftentimes I've either got money or I don't. I'm in abundance or I'm not. But really, while money is certainly a part of the conversation, it is most certainly not the source. It is simply one expression of abundance. Abundance is the fullness of life itself. Turn to your neighbor and say, abundance is the fullness of life itself. Your voice, their ears. Abundance is the fullness of life itself. It's an expression of love. Oh. Life, abundance, itself, all of it, all of it. Abundance is the fullness of life itself. It is the expression of love, connection, creativity, vitality, time, and presence. You feeling into that? Good. It's a feeling of being met by life. Now we were going to explore the second page, not the third. So as we begin to gently soften our awareness, we realize that there is something more profound. That abundance is not just something that we allow, it is something that we participate in. Because wherever we place our attention, that place matters. Wherever we place our attention matters. That's how powerful you are. That's how powerful being present in every moment is. Whatever we focus on, we begin to experience more of. So if our awareness is anchored in lack and in fear, in what is missing, we begin to reinforce that pattern in our life. And sometimes we do that without even realizing, because after all, it's a pattern. It's a loop. It's a repetitive way of being that we can, through consciousness, take the sacred pause, which we've talked about before, breathe into that, and allow truth to rise, that we have an abundant nature. But when we begin to gently orient towards what is present, what is working, what is already being given, something powerful is shifting within us. Not because we're forcing positivity, but because we are aligning with truth. So I invite you to just gently notice, where in your life are you being met? Just take a moment and think, where is life meeting me? Where is life already offering something that perhaps you haven't really received fully? Might that be? Because living in our abundant nature is not about denying a challenge, but it is about choosing where we place awareness within it. When we begin to live this way, abundance becomes less about concept and more about our lived experience in the center of our abundant nature. Now we begin to explore an energy of money. Sometimes it brings up things within us like fear or control or longing, or sometimes money can even get a little trapped in shame. The shame of not having enough. The shame of always wanting more and feeling kind of bad about it when you see others without. It's weighty. It holds a lot. But if we soften our perspective, if we begin to see money is not a measure of worth, but it is simply a mirror. When we can open our mind to recognize, what does it look like in this equal measure of reciprocity that is me? I give and I receive, and I give and I receive. And letting the flow of that abundant nature work in my life. A mirror of our relationships with receiving, a reflection of our capacity to trust life, to feel safe in opening, vulnerable, yes, but safe, yes. We believe that we are supported in this energy because the truth is you are. But I remember a time in my life when I felt deeply contracted around money, not just financially, but emotionally and even energetically. I was a young mother with 3 children. And then I found myself a single mother with 3 children and not having a clue how I, myself, me, was going to sustain life for my children. And at this precipice, I sought some counsel with my dear old dad, who said, we don't accept handouts, we don't get on welfare, and we do not take food stamps. Got it? You'll figure this out. You can do it. And what rained down on me so heavily, and I think I've shared this with you before, is, okay, then if it's going to get done, I got to do it. There's no help in sight. And so took a deep breath and did a whole lot of job searching and managed to land a pretty darn good job. The income was okay. I had really good benefits. I was feeling like it was okay, but at the end of every month, after I'd paid rent, after I paid my car payment, after I paid all the child care for my 3 little ones, after I put food on the table and paid utilities and all of the things that happen in the course of a month, I was about at zero. And what I realized, that I was a paycheck away from homelessness, from losing it all. But in this little house that I'd moved into, there was this lovely neighbor across the way. She was just such a sweet woman. Her name was Cynthia. I know that she was retired, but she had a good pension. She lived an abundant life. I'd look across the street and see something I wished I had. Not jealous, but longing. And periodically she'd call and say, hey, kiddo, what are you doing? Would you make a pot of coffee? I want to come visit. And she'd come over, the kids would be in the backyard playing, and we'd sit and chat about life, and she brought so much into my life. I felt accepted and I felt loved by this lovely neighbor. So one Saturday morning, the phone rings, hey, kiddo, can I come over? Put on a pot of coffee. And so delightfully I did. Coffee was ready, she came in the door, sat on the couch, and as we were talking, I noticed that she was reaching for an envelope in her purse. And she set it on the couch next to us, and she gently just slid it over to me. I'm like, And kind of meant like, this is for you. And I picked it up and opened this. As we're chatting, I opened this up, and there is 500 crisp dollar bills in this envelope. And of course, you know what I did. I didn't say thank you. I said, oh, no, I can't take this. My father was talking loud in my head. I'm sorry, I just cannot take this. I'm so sorry. Thank you, but no, Cynthia, really, that's way, way too much. I mean, no, thank you. And she looked at me with the gentlest eyes and the most loving face and said something that didn't match up. She said, why would you rob me? I'm like, Cynthia, I can't, what? And she said, why would you rob me of the blessing of blessing you? I melted in that moment. My heart softened, and it still makes me weepy to know of her generosity and her kindness, and to teach me this lesson of allowing her to bless me was blessing her. So, Monday morning, off to the bank I go. Slide that $500 right into the account. And at the end of every month, because I'm careful, there was still $500 in my account. And guess who felt abundant? Thank you, Cynthia. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience. And after this time with Cynthia, I realized that there was an underlying sense that I had to hold it together, wasn't making sense anymore. That if I loosened my grip even slightly, that everything would fall apart, seemed to be dissipating. And if it was going to get done, I had to do it. Cynthia already did it. She gave me this buffer that changed everything. And underneath that, there was this quiet fear that I wasn't fully supported before. And for the first time in my life, I felt a support and a tenderness and a generosity that changed me. I don't have to earn my place in this world, and I don't have to prove my worth. Thank you, Cynthia. And what I began to see over time, that it wasn't actually about money, it was my relationship with life itself. I really felt into looking at that contraction within me. I was gripping not just finances, but everything around me. I was not receiving support, ease, or love, and now I knew how could have a new perspective in that. And I began to gently soften that grip on money, small but consciously. Something was shifting within me. Instead of constantly scanning for where things weren't enough, I began to notice what was already present. Instead of worrying, I really was realizing that things were already working for me and that I'd already been given, and giving seemed real. Instead of doing all that constant scanning, now it was time to open up to a feeling of more space, more flow, more unexpected support in the world, because I had done, not that I've done something perfectly, but because I had become more available. And this is what I've come to understand, that when we tighten around money, we often tighten ourselves around life itself. When we soften into our trust, we begin to experience a different current moving through us. Prosperity, then, is not about accumulation. It's about circulation. If I need a hug, get out there and give somebody a hug. If I need love, I give love. If I'm looking a little short in my pocketbook, I am not afraid to reach in and take the last $3 out and give them to the guy on the corner who might very well be an angel, and he's got a sign saying, "I am hungry." Right? Because it's time to receive and give abundance. And if I'm constantly negotiating my own worthiness in a relationship, I'm going to do the same. So now we go from finance and being generous in the world to what am I doing within my relationships as well? So in my relationships, am I asking if I'm worthy of it? Do I find myself focusing on what I'm missing in a connection? Or do I focus on what is already present? Because remember, what we focus on, we create more of. What we focus on, we create more of. You can take that one to the bank. Our relationships are our sacred mirror. They reveal where we have forgotten our wholeness and where we are being invited to open more fully to life itself. Our relationships are these sacred mirrors. They reveal where we have forgotten our wholeness and where we're being invited to open more deeply. And as we heal our capacity to give and to receive love with presence and with awareness, we naturally expand our capacity to receive abundance in all forms. We begin to live a different rhythm. Things are changing. Our rhythms open. We become more trusting. And there is a flow. It's time to flow in this world in your abundant nature. This is an invitation. Time to flow in our abundance and our beautiful trust and openness. And this is where we begin to see that something much larger is most definitely unfolding. We are living in a time of profound transformation. There is no doubt about that. But when we say stay centered, when we stay in the eye of the storm and let the chaos around us move, but we stay in this present moment, the abundant nature is taking root in how you can proceed with grace, with openness, and with trust. The old paradigm is rooted in scarcity and competition and in separation. But there's something new that is emerging through us. This journey is about becoming more. It's about remembering more. It's about standing in the center of this openness to more. It's literally a frequency, a vibration of expanded energy that is yours because it's in you. We just must remember. And as we evolve, we move from striving to allowing, from proving to trusting, from lack to remembrance. And in that remembrance, we begin to live differently. We begin to consciously participate. We choose where we place our awareness, moment by moment. And so I want to invite you now into a moment of reflection. If you feel comfortable in your seat, just take a moment. Once again, in your breath, bring your awareness to your heart. Notice your breath. Notice your body. And ask yourself softly, where in my life am I being invited to open? Where am I being called to receive more fully from love, from connection, and from life itself? Notice if there is any place that feels a little closed or a little guarded. Simply bring a little bit of compassion to that space. No need to fix, just simply notice. And then gently, you might place your hand on your heart and simply and softly say these words to yourself. I am willing to give and receive love from a heart of abundance. I am willing to give and receive love from a heart of abundance. Let those words land, not just in your mind, but through your body. Feel into these beautiful words. And when you're ready, come back in and let us talk about abundance once more. Because it's not outside you. It's a natural state of a heart that is open, a mind that is trusting, and a soul that remembers. It is something you participate in with every place you choose to put your attention, not out of becoming abundant, but just remembering that you already are abundant. May you move through these coming weeks noticing where life is already reaching toward you, where love is already present, and where support is already available. And may you allow yourself, perhaps more than before, to give and receive abundantly. Thank you.